Hey, cheers. Good afternoon, Southern Vermont Vintage. How's everybody doing today? Um, this was free, this camper, tax-free storage. Tax-free roll and storage. Don't forget. Same with the tractor trailers there. You get them with the wheels. Movable, tax-free roll and storage. Right? But yeah, I gotta grab a few things out for the fair. And we're gonna jump up here. I wanna show you a little bit of what life is like being a reseller. In case you're a full-time worker thinking about quitting your job, getting into reselling. Make sure you love it. Make sure you love it. You got to do it because you love it. Because I'm going to show you why. Hold on just a moment. All right, now that I climbed up in here, this is a box trailer, guys. 52 foot. Hey, this is what you see the tractor trailer trucks pulling. Oh, and I got this nice pathway to get back here to the back door. Because I need some legs here from a bench that we made last year that's got to go to the fair. I got to pull that out. I gotta kind of dig what else we got. We got this old 1800 sleigh. The person that put this back together did a real crappy job. Used some real crappy shiny hardware, like new age bolts. The top is real cheesy on it. So I'm gonna pull this old sleigh out, 1800 sleigh. This thing's pretty cool. And see about changing the hardware out and putting maybe a better top on it. I think we can do something a lot better for a top. A lot of the sleighs there, it has got some busted parts and some missing things, but it's a survivor piece. You're not going to find something like this, fully together and in mint shape. These things either rusted and rotted out in the barns once they got stored in the barns because of the metal, or the wood itself because they got left outside, just rotted away. But a lot of this one's here. A lot of it originally is here. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to pull that out. Like I say, I got to pull out my legs there that go to a bench, a seating bench. Fountain Griswold. This is Griswold, guys. I think 1930s. I don't know if they call it a pie warmer or just a warmer. It's actually electric, and you can move it up and down, and it gets it closer to the heating coil and stuff. Pretty cool. Something I picked up at one point in time because I like to collect cast iron, and Griswold is obviously a big cast iron name. Due to the design, a lot of folks collect it because of the design, not because Griswold is the most expensive or worth the most. A lot of folks just love the big pattern when you get them with the whole bottom is got wording and their symbols and stuff. But there's some other stuff I haven't done any. The past couple of years, I got to get set back up, but stuff I used to do too. We got a cabinet shop where I can get all this really nice wood. It's all maple, some mahogany, there's like an African mahogany, and then something from South America. They only do four or five types of woods. So anything you get out of there is really gnarly. But this is all done wood burning here. These are done with a machine. Some of these are done with just my nanometer, which is just electricity. But then I also have some that take the tubes, the bigger watt lasers that you see folks like doing cutting and stuff like that with. Here, just a second, let me put some stuff down. All right, as I was saying, some folk, you'll see them using the CO2 lasers to cut, thicker shit like this, different plywoods. This obviously warped and wasn't anything, but a lot of this stuff was some of my test pieces, getting some of my speeds and the burn rates down so you didn't have a ton of overburn like you can see here how it burns out over onto the face. You can do things to control that or create that if you're looking for that. Because for me, I'd come back and sand it down a little bit and get rid of that. It sharpens it up a lot. You'll see in a piece like this here, let's see. You know, that's got quite a bit of overburn, but it creates a kind of a cool shadowing effect too on it. And you can control this with how much wattage you're putting to your machine, or the speed, the rate at which you're running and stuff. But you know, some of these are just lightly burned in. Some of them it's turned up so it'll burn darker, and depending on the different wood, it burns a little bit different color. Like you can see on this here, this is, what is this, a piece of pine? Yeah, this is a piece of pine. You can see how dark it burns on that. But then on a piece of maple, you can see how light you can burn it, but how deep you can go. You know, you can get some really good depth. This here, I ran the wrong program, and it shows all the edges and stuff. I needed to change the program on that. But a lot of this stuff is just, you know, different things you pull off the internet. You'll snag a file off the internet and then put it into whatever programs you're running and change the file formats to what you need and stuff. You can do some pretty cool stuff. This was just some different ideas I had going. I was thinking of cutting something like this out in the shape of the cross. Anything church goes, you know, is always a good reselling deal. But yeah, these were just a bunch of practice things. What else did I have? Yeah, the bulldog, that was kind of cool. Was doing a bunch of different dog ones, because those are always good little sellers. But you know, things like this where, you know, $10-$20 at the fair, you know, depending on what it was, something like this with it finished and some brackets and something to hang it all sanded out, and it totally finished up with finish on it. And some stuff I did with just regular polyurethane, some stuff I do with the epoxies, but would be like $20 to $40, and then if it didn't sell by last day, it'd be like a $20 piece. You know, you can see here some depth. I was going through doing a bunch of names. You see this one I was messed up on my lining up, and a lot of the stuff, because it was cut off from the shop. Either I was doing tests, like this was something from like a drawer face or a cabinet face, so I probably didn't take, I didn't take that into effect when I had made this one. So it turned out to be a test piece or a practice piece. But this is hard maple, like 3/4 brought down to like 5/8 or something. It's really nice, solid. You know, when you pick these up, they had really good weight. So like this one finished, if it wasn't messed up, and maybe some hang brackets on the top with something, a piece of leather or something to hang it. And obviously the edges all cut square and cleaned up and stuff, would be like a $40 piece at the beginning of the fair, and then come Saturday, Sunday, if it didn't sell, you'd drop it down a little bit. But you know, that one was kind of neat too with the pig. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with the lasers. You don't got to just do stuff on wood. I was spray painting tiles black, so the laser would burn into like some tiles and stuff. Was doing some things like that, and then got into doing some of the Lynchburg stuff on some benches and some tops, tabletops and things. That was kind of fun and whatnot, but I don't know. All right, I got to get that bench top out of there, but I'll show you. Got a tabletop going here that doing, because a lot of stuff we do on the tabletops and the bench tops is all done by hand, where, like I was saying, this is machine, whether it be a nanometer, like an electronic, where it takes electricity to produce the laser, or if it's CO2 setup. You can run way faster with the CO2. That's why I upgraded, not for the cutting purposes, but because I did burnings and carvings with mine. But hold on, I'll show you this other table here. Oh, wait. Before I show you the other table, so you folks that are here that are thinking about becoming a reseller, want to quit your full-time job, just know that your life is going to end up looking like this. Now, somewhere 50 some odd feet up that way is the front of this trailer. And I'm like 8 to 10 feet from the door. Yeah, maybe 8 feet. Because I just picked these up the other day free. 2-inch. 2-inch styrofoam. Free. 6 pieces. Like $300-400. Yeah, that was a good deal. Good grab. Yep, it was like 20 minutes away. But anyways, you get into the life of you got to take it all and get it all and make a nickel off everything you can. And this is nothing, okay? This is one trailer. If you knew how many, yeah, you would shit yourself. But anyhow, if you're thinking about full-time, going full-time, quitting your job, remember this is what your life is going to turn into, okay? Now let's go check out that other table. All right, here's a bench top doing by hand. I know video's not going to do any justice, but once it's finished, everything gets sanded out that needs to be sanded out, any of the reference marks, and any of the mess ups and stuff. It's going to look so awesome. It's going to come out really, really nice. Super, super nice. So I'll have to do another video once it's fully done. And it's got finish on it, because the finish just makes it pop. Like all this detail work into the siding, and it'll highlight all the shading for the trees. And yeah, there's a bunch more. I mean, there's a whole week worth of burning still here. Another 5 to 7 days. Plugging away a few hours a day. And this one here. What are you doing, you? You're not supposed to be up there. Come on. Come on, you're not supposed to be up there. No. No. Get down. Get your butt down. Alright. Oh, there it is. Got a little trick here too, that do a little sanding trick to this tree. It's gonna take and really make it pop. Alright, there we go. Getting ready for the fair, Deerfield Fair, Deerfield, New Hampshire, 2025. Hope to see you guys there. Peace out, much love.